Check this out. Nice mods. Steve here, Shen RC, and I'm at the 1/16th RGT crawler here, the 136161. I got a few mods I'm going to show you guys how you could do something to improve the articulation and the suspension and stuff. So I'm going to show you that now. I didn't even do it yet. I just thought of it in my mind here, but I know it'll work. So let's get to it. I'm just going to leave that to the side. Alright, let me show you what I thought of doing here. I thought of removing the bottom ball cup for the shock that pops onto the axle, holds it in place. And if you unscrew it maybe 1 or 2 turns from the shock shaft, what that'll do is when you push your suspension up, it should let the other side drop a little lower. So I'm going to try to adjust one and see if that'll work. Let me take off the tire here. I think this will make it articulate a little more. Let me see if I could pop this off right here. I can do that with a screwdriver. Right, like that. Let me unscrew the shock also real quick, just so I could show you guys better what I'm talking about here. Here's a shock. I'm going to take the end holder off and the spring. Now when they give it to you, they have the bottoms on pretty far. Now what you want to do is hold the shock shaft and turn this ball end maybe 1 full turn or 2. And I'm going to do that right now when I get something to hold the shaft. Alright, I'm using a little piece of paper here, folded up a few times, and I'm going to hold the shock shaft with the pliers. I'm going to go 2 turns out. So that's 1, 2, and you could see the shock thread sticking out. You could probably go a lot further because this comes off. I tested it at like 7 turns. So now I'm going to put that back on the car and see what that did. Alright. This looks like it's kind of, oh, there it goes. Pain to get in the right position here. There it is. I'm just going to screw it on a little bit, just to hold it. Now I'm going to snap this back on. I may need a pliers on this. There it is. Let me just put the tire on really quick. So you could see the full effect. See if my idea worked. Alright. Now my idea is now when you push up this side, now you see the spring is loose a little bit. It's not to the top. You see that? So that lets the tire drop down lower. You can see the articulation. So you could go around all your shocks and do that on each side, and it should make your axle twist a little better and drop down further on the opposite side when you compress the one side up. That's a little trick. Now another thing is, I thought of, you see the shocks here? I'm not going to do it to mine yet, but I'm thinking of doing it. If you grind this side out so the shocks tilt in towards the chassis this way, the tops, like that. If you grind some out and you push them that way and you put a little washer behind it, then screw it back in. You may need a longer screw with a nut on the side of it though when you do this mod. Angle the tops of the shocks inward. If you do that to the front and the rear, they'll angle like this, the shocks, and what that does, it makes your suspension softer so it's easier to push up and down to each tire, so it'll twist easier. If you want to do that, that's another mod you could do. But for now, I'm just going to finish up doing all my shocks with the bottoms like that, because that's a good idea to let it twist a little more. So I'm going to do that. Maybe in the future I'll change the oil a little lighter in the shocks. Alright guys, I took all my shocks off. I used my micrometer and I measured them all the same length after I unscrewed the bottom ball ends. Now if you don't have a micrometer, you could just grab the shocks after you adjust one. Say you have another one here. You pull down the bottom real hard like that and hold them on the top. And then you just compare them like this and try to eye them up as close as possible, just like that. You can see they're the same. Anyhow guys, now I'm going to install them on the truck and I'll show you when it's finished. Guys, before you do this, make sure you just take the tires and wheels off. It'll make things a lot easier to snap them shock bottoms on. Anyhow, I'm going to put the body on real quick. And then I'll show you what it looks like. I guess we don't need all the clips. I'll just put two. Alright, now that the shocks are done, when you push up the opposite side, you can see it pulls down and the spring gets loose. See that? That's the extra little bit that your tire drops down. Now you get a little more articulation. Like I said, you could adjust them the way you want. Let me take off the body real quick just to show you. Actually might be better. All these wires on this thing's crazy. Let me show you the back. Alright, now when you push up, because you unscrewed that little ball end right there, it drops lower. Your spring gets a little loose, see? So that should make it work a little better. I don't think you'll have any problems. What you might want to do is, you see the shock bottoms? Let me show you real quick with this freaking wires all over the place, driving me crazy. Let me smush this tire out of the way so you can see. You see the shock bottoms? Because the spring's loose, if they come off, they could go like this and hit the shaft. You may want to clean these up and put a dab of CA glue or goop glue on them and put the spring back on like this, so the spring always holds into the shock bottom over there. That way it'll never come loose, and this will make it work better. So I'm going to put a little dab of CA glue on mine. But you could see now when you push it up and down, when you push up this side all the way, you get more extension, and then this gets loose, the spring. See? Right there. That's why you want to goop this down onto the shock bottom or CA glue it so it's loose on the top only like this, so it slides up and down. And that'll give you a little more articulation with this little truck. Take a look at that. Beauty. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you like the mods, leave me a thumbs up. Hit that bell for future videos. And I'll see you next time. Leave a comment if you can, guys. Thanks for watching. Shen RC out.